Hey, welcome to the live stream. Oh, it's so good to be here with you guys. I am glad to see you, pilots. Thank you for being here. This is Commercial Pilot in Command. This is going to be a super, super special live stream. We're going to spend a ton of time going through some really good, deep material in regards to how you want to be interviewing as a pilot. And I am really, really excited about this. Let's see, Flogs by MM. Good to see you. Jump in the chat, ask questions, say hi. We're definitely going to have an interactive stream here, and we're going to do a giveaway, which I will talk about very shortly. So it is good to see you. How's everybody's weekend going? How's your weekend been? Did you guys do anything fun? Do you have anything planned for the 4th of July? Anything really exciting planned? Of course, fireworks, depending on where you're at, of course, you don't want to be doing fireworks in places that are, not allowed. So, but if you're in a good area for fireworks, hey, have a good time and do some fireworks this weekend. So, okay. All right, let's get things started here. And let's get into this live stream. So first of all, it's going to be a bit of a long live stream. I hope you can stick for the whole thing. If you do stick for the whole thing, I'm going to have a giveaway at the end. Like I said, I'm going to talk about that shortly. And grab a drink, get comfortable, okay? And, take some notes if you need to. Of course, this is going to be live now, but it is going to be posted later. So if you miss anything, you can come back and you can watch it again and take that information and use it and apply it. So let's get started with the first couple of things, orders of business. So what this is going to be is me basically taxiing you through the process of the pilot interview. This is going to be all the experience that I have taken and gained for the last 10 plus years. I've practiced how to interview. I've done tons of interviewing, and I want to pass that knowledge and information on to you because it's not that readily available. And some people charge a lot of money for this kind of stuff, but I've just experienced it enough that I need and want to share it with my audience. So also, do me a favor. If anybody, feels like it, jump in there. If the music's too loud, I'm actually going to bring some music in. If it's too loud, let me know. If the audio is off, let me know so I can fix it. And we don't go an hour with some weird audio problem. Okay, let's jump into a little bit more information in regards to this giveaway. Okay, we're doing a Sporty's giveaway. Basically, what that means is I've been in contact with Sporty's, and they sent me a product to give to you guys. It was their way of contributing back to the community. So what we are going to be giving away is a Sporty's Pilot Shop Learn to Fly course. Now, before you guys blow up the comments, I know most of you know how to fly. I fully understand that, but regardless, I still want to give you this Learn to Fly course. So basically, there's two things you could do with this. All right. One, you could use it for yourself as a, as a refresher. There's a lot of information in here, and it's all online. So if you have like your old pilot books, your old flight books, you can toss them or you can pass them on or whatever. This here is going to have you give you the access to have anywhere you want. Like if you're at a hotel or something and you want to just brush up on some instrument or some, regulations or whatever, you can jump in here and you can log in and do that. Second, you absolutely could give this to a friend, okay? Or somebody that you know, or if you want to teach somebody else how to fly, it's totally up to you. That's why I'm giving this to you guys. Like I said, I know most of you already understand how to fly. It's a good refresher, and it's possibly a gift for somebody else. So here's how this is going to work, okay? Actually, let's see. Yeah, there's a little bit of a setup for this, okay? Just a little bit. I'll go over that in just a minute, okay? It's a couple other things I want to go through first, but stick around for this. This is the giveaway, and it will be through the whole stream. You'll get little pieces of information. I'll explain it in a minute. Okay, so I got to show you this this comment. Look at this comment. It's one of the best comments I've had on the channel. Got to be honest with you. Hey, if you guys are here, do me a favor, hit that like button. When you like this video, it tells YouTube that pilots like this video, which means that other pilots who might like this video, it will then put this video in front of them. To me, this information is critical for anybody who wants to build a career in aviation, and I don't want to hold back. So I'm sharing this as much as I can. If you guys could share it as well to anybody that you know or might who it might help, or even, you know, watch it a couple times, hit the like button, all those things, all those interactions, including you hitting a comment or putting down the comment, all those interactions really help the video be healthy in regards to YouTube. So if you guys could do that favor for me, I would appreciate that very much. And leave a funny comment like this, because it made my day. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about who I am, and I'm gonna be brief because I'm gonna assume that you guys pretty much know, you know, who I am and what I do and all that good stuff. But I just want to cover it real quickly. And let's see here. Hang on a sec. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Running this whole show right here. So again, we're going to be talking about the interview process. Who am I? My name is Seth, and if this is the first time we've met, I just want to say welcome to the channel. This channel is about you. This channel is about helping pilots grow in their careers. Go from, let's see, 250 hours after you graduate to 1,500 hours. That block of time in the middle is a bit of a void. And so the whole purpose of this channel is to provide tips and advice and mistakes and all the things that you could and will encounter as you start your pilot career. If you've already established a pilot career and you have 500, 600, 700 hours, hopefully this information will still be good and relevant for you as a mid-time kind of pilot. So anyways, so that's what this channel is about. And I just want you to know I'm going to be posting some more information soon in regards to the academy that I'm doing. I'll talk about that in a few, but I just want to tell you that if you go to commercialpic.com and you go to a place, core values, you'll see this in the next video. I'm not going to go through it here. Some core values, those are the most important things to commercial pilot in command. It's all about pilots. It's all about your career path, and it's all about your journey. So check that out. We'll go, you'll check that out and you'll see that in the next video more in detail. Okay. All right. So I have a little tiny disclaimer, okay, that I need to tell you before we jump into all this material. And what that is that if you've noticed, all this material that I'm talking about today is, let's see, it's not, there's no charge in a way. Like I said, there are a lot of companies that charge to help you write your resume, to write your cover letter, to help you interview. And those companies are great, but there's a barrier there, right? You have to pay to get that information. I am giving you that information, and I'm doing it because I believe in pilots and I want to see pilots grow, and I want to see our information, I want to see our industry grow. So all the material that you're going to get, it's all yours. Like, you do with it what you want, and you can absolutely 100% use it to grow your career. So in this live stream, I am going to be kind of self-promoting my own stuff, some merchandise, you know, how you can be go deeper into commercial pilot in command through Patreon. I'm going to talk about that stuff just because it keeps the mission going. It keeps the channel healthy. Okay, so it's basically a way for people to kind of support the channel in a way, and it's totally like up to them. It's totally up to you, I should say. So with that, just wanted to give you a little heads up. I'm going to be talking about a few things through here about my own stuff, a little bit of self-promotion, but we're going to get into the material because the 98% purpose of this video is to deliver value for you and for you to get your pilot career off the ground. Okay, that's the first thing. Also, if you have any questions, like I mentioned before, jump in the comments there and say hi, including my dad. He's here. How you doing, Dad? Good to see you. Okay. All right, next we are going to jump into a couple of things. All right, so like I said, questions, comments, jump in there. We'll go through them as we get there. Next thing we're going to talk about is I would like to have a little bit of a competition coming up. Not right now. I'm just going to put this on your radar. And what I am going to tell you guys is I want to have a little bit of a competition with the audience. What we want to do is I want to name this audience. All right. What that means is you are pilots. Okay, cool. You're pilots on YouTube. Okay, cool. A lot of like YouTubers, I guess, they have a connection with their audience. They have a name for their audience. If you've been here long enough, this is kind of funny. If you've been here long enough, then you know that I used to be called Mile High Fibered. That was super personal. That didn't really have any, real understanding or connotation, right? And so I was going to call you guys the Mile High Club. And I'll be honest with you, that's terrible. Absolutely terrible. And so we trashed that. Now the channel is called Commercial Pilot in Command, has more of a purpose, has more of a ring. But I would like to call you guys something. I just call you guys pilots, which is fine. But I would love to have like a community name. So we're going to do a competition. Start thinking of some ideas. If you come up with an idea, write it down. And then as soon as I announce this competition, you'll have an opportunity to submit your idea. Right. And then we will have you'll get credit, whoever's the winner, whichever one that I just absolutely love. And you'll get a gift card, probably to Sporty's or something else, related to that. So you can buy more cool pilot stuff that you don't need. Right. So we'll do that. All right. So that's coming up in, I don't know, soon. Just be watching for that. All right. Let's talk about this giveaway again. Okay. This is what you need to do. You will need to, you'll need to go to this website right here, sportys.com/setup2. Bring it up in a separate window. If you have a different device, bring it up on a different device. Okay. In the process of this, you'll have some time. Go there, make sure that you have a sportys.com account. Super easy. Put an email in there, put a username, put a password, and you're good to go. Once you have that, log in. Then go to this website. Go to sportys.com/setup2 and have it ready. Because here's what we're going to do. Inside this package, there's a code. All right. The code has a bunch of digits. I'm going to slowly give you guys the code. Okay. When we get to the end of the stream, we're going to have the last final digits of the code. The first person to activate the code wins. All right. Makes it super fair. Makes it super easy, super hands off. I don't have to mail this to you. You can just go in there, activate the course, done. That's how we're going to do it. Okay. So I am going to put on screen the first 4 digits of that code for this Sporty's giveaway. And I'm going to do that right now. And then we will jump into interview stuff. But I wanted to make sure you guys knew about the information for the code. Okay. All right. Let me add this real quick and then we will get started. All right. And I'll talk about this again for anybody who may have missed it in regards to the rest of how the code works. And I'll give you a reminder on where to go. But I'm going to leave this on screen for a little bit so you guys can see it. Okay, there is the first 4 digits of the code. 784 lowercase c. Keep in mind, every letter in this code is lowercase. All right, there's no uppercase. So remember that. Okay, while you guys are doing that, we're going to get straight into the interview. So you've done your research. You've applied for jobs. You finally get that amazing phone call. Hey, so-and-so, we would like to interview you. We want to set up a Zoom call on Friday, the 15th, blah, 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 at 3 p.m. Does that time work for you? Okay. Or they'll send you an email. It's an exciting time. You finally got an interview, okay? It is crucial that you prepare for this interview. This interview is going to be so monumental, okay? And you're going to have this process happen several times, and you may have had this process happen before. You may have had interviews before, but I hope you get something out of this that you can add to that process, because this is a skill. This is a muscle that you need to work, okay? This interview muscle is something you need to work, all right? So we're going to talk about first impressions, all right? What I want you to think about is, so far in this video, what have been your first impressions about me, okay? That's all I'm going to say. All right, so you are accepting this call Zoom interview, and you are going to be setting up a good time. All right, that's important. Make sure that you have your time set, whatever, and make sure that things are ready and good to go in that regard. You know, don't schedule it when you're going to be busy. Don't schedule it when you're going to have the kids over or whatever it is that your situation is. Make sure you're scheduling it for a good time, and that you are, you know, doing it in a way that is not going to be difficult for you to take this interview, right? Because you really want to focus on this time. All right. So we're going to prepare for this interview, okay? We are going to go through a lot of steps here to prepare for this interview. It's very important that you have the right preparation. All right. So first thing we're going to look at is, I want you to, first of all, look at what job that you have applied for. Okay. First, before I do that, let me just say to those people who have actually been, who are members and who have subscribed to the channel and who have joined on Patreon, I just want you guys to know that's a very deep personal thank you from me. You guys don't know how much your support has absolutely had an impact on me. So I just want to thank you so very much. Got you guys on screen. You are awesome. Of course, that is not something that is necessary. It's something that these people want to do. So I will say that you have taken another step in the process of supporting the channel and investing in your education. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys are the best. And if this is something that you want to consider, stick around. We'll talk about it a little bit more as we go. Okay, so let's go and talk about this job. Okay, follow along with me if you're still here, unless you're over at the Sporty's website. But come on back. We're going to take a look here on how you're going to go through the beginning process of preparing for the interview. So I'm going to take you to LinkedIn, all right? And we're going to look at a job. We're going to go through the process. Let me just set that up real quick here, so that way you can follow along with me. All right. So we're going to LinkedIn, and we're going to jump in and take a look at a job here. Okay. So on screen, you have, let me change this so you can see. There we go. You have this job description, okay? All right, let's look here. On the left side, we've got all these jobs, right? Go to LinkedIn, type in pilot, wherever you live, boom, start looking at jobs. You can even set an alert right here. Does it show with my mouse? I think it does. Okay. Little button there says set alert. You can click that on, click that off, click that on, whatever, right? Okay. So we're going to look at this job right here. Pilot, PC-12, first officer, right? Click on that job by Tradewind Aviation. I am not sponsored by Tradewind Aviation. I literally just found this job on LinkedIn in 5 minutes. All right, this is the job that you applied for. You need to study this job description. It's extremely important that you know this job well for this interview, okay? Look at certain things. Look at what is important to this company, all right? First of all, PC-12 pilots are responsible for safe and efficient flight operations as a formal 2-pilot crew. You already know you're going to be a 2-pilot environment. Safety is their priority. Start picking up on little tiny things like this, okay? Where are they at? All right, this job is in Westchester, New York, and Waterbury, Oxford, Connecticut. Start getting down in here. A trade when you're not a number, that's good. That means they have a good culture at their company. Large enough part, like you can read through this, okay? Talking about flying 135 schedule and on-demand operations. Pay and benefits. This is good to know. Trade with officers, $35,000 base salary. So we'll talk about salary and stuff as we get through this. Captains start at $65,000, blah, 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 right? We've got all this information right here, all this information about this job. This is very crucial that you understand this job ahead of time before you go into this interview. And of course, the most important part is their minimum qualifications. They will absolutely ask you about this information, okay? 500 hours total time, solid IFR knowledge and experience. We'll get into that, okay? FAA first class medical, obviously. Passport, legal, all this stuff, right? Very important information. Now, next step is to follow me here. Tradewin Aviation, right? This person right here. This person is the person who has posted this job and is what you call somebody in the talent acquisition team, basically a recruiter. This person will be setting up or will be in your panel of interviews. So keep in mind who this person is, okay? Not always, but most of the time. Now, let's look at the company, all right? What you're going to do, go back over here, click on Tradewin Aviation, right? Like I said, I'm not sponsored. I'm just following their profile, whatever. All right, we've got Tradewin Aviation on LinkedIn. Now, what I do, you can go back into the jobs, but you don't really need to. Visit website. This is important. Visit website because you're going to start learning about this company. You need to know information about them before you walk into that interview. Okay, that's important. All right, hang on. It switched screens here, so let me jump over to that screen really quick. Sorry, it opened up a new window. All right, Tradewin Aviation. Here we go. Okay. This is their home website, okay? So first thing that I do, and this is a little tip before you apply. Don't apply, I mean, you can apply on LinkedIn, that's fine. Most important though, apply on the website. Apply directly to the company. Scroll all the way to the bottom here and look in this section. I don't care about any of this stuff. I don't care about any of it, not yet. I don't care about any of this stuff, whatever, who cares, right? That's cool, we'll get to that later. Go to the bottom, go to careers. Open positions, careers, why Tradewin? Start reading about this job, this company. Start looking at pictures like this. You know, look at the presentation. They care about their presentation. They care about their customer service. There's little tips that you can pick up on. Locations, you know, oh, hey, I didn't know they're in Puerto Rico. There's a good thing. That's a little tip that you can use in the interview. You're basically stacking information in your brain. You're researching the company. You're learning about them before you go into that interview. So that way, when you walk in there, you're not walking in there completely blind. All right. Go through the benefits, all this stuff. Oh, hey, look at that. They have a partnership with JetBlue. That's a really nice thing to know when you walk into an interview, because not everybody will know that, especially if you do your due diligence and you research and you learn more about this program. Then you know, hey, I've got a little bit of ammunition here and I can talk about JetBlue, and that's going to trigger a thought in their mind. You know, you're going to go down that whole rabbit hole. We'll get into that later. All right, now you can go back in the open positions. You can research. It's not a bad idea to have this like bookmarked where the job is so you can go back to the jobs. But what I want you to call your attention to, very important, is this right here, about us. This is big. Learn about this company, right? Since 2001, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. They've been established in 2001. I'll come back to this information. Read this right here about this company. Learn about them. Know them before you walk in there, okay? Very important. Now, you're not going to memorize everything, but pick up on little stuff. Headquartered in Oxford in 2001. Okay, got it. You know what I mean? And then just like start slowly learning more and learning more and learning more. Okay, So that is studying the company's website, their about, and their history. Again, go back into LinkedIn and learn about the panel. I'll show you what else you can do in LinkedIn while we're here, because it's kind of a cool tip that I'm not sure if anybody knows. Let's bring up another screen real quick. Let's see here. Takes a second to get this screen up, and back to LinkedIn. If you guys are just joining, this is the Low Time Pilots. Well, I guess it's Low Time Pilots Commercial Pilot in Command live stream. We're doing a giveaway, Sporty's giveaway, and we're in here talking about interviews. So if you're just tuning in, welcome. Grab a drink, kick back. Let's get some notes and let's learn. All right, we're back on Tradewin Aviation's company profile. Here's a good one. People. You see this right here? Click on people. Who works here? It's important to know. Okay. Start looking at, oh, hey, I actually know this pilot. I don't really. I'm using an example. I know this pilot. Now you have inside information because this guy works for, or this girl works for this company. And you're like, wow, I had no idea. Then you can talk to them and start asking them questions about the company. I actually got hired by doing that. It was like, I skipped right past all the interview process. I went right into a company because I knew somebody who worked there. So you're going to be looking for, let's see, who's the chief pilot? That's a good thing to know. This woman right here is the chief pilot. You probably are going to meet her and talk to her on the phone or in the panel when you do your interview. Know her name ahead of time. Know what she does. Click on her information and learn her history. Oh, I didn't know that she was a pilot for, I don't know, JetBlue. There's a talking point for you. Start learning a little bit of things about the people that are going to be interviewing you. Okay. Then start looking around. The next person I usually look for is like HR, the person who is in charge of hiring, or I'll look for the president and learn a little bit about the president. Just learn as much as you can about this company. All this preparation is going to serve you well. I promise you. Okay. Now, what's next? All right. You've learned about the company. You've learned about the website. You've learned about, who they are, why they operate, and you're going to learn now more about the job. Okay. Now, if this is like your first time with this position, you're not going to really know much. Like if you're brand new, you're not going to know much about how Part 135 operates, how Part 121 operates, all that stuff. Now is the time for you to learn those things. Okay. It's important that you understand that studying the regs for this job will save your butt. Okay. Study CFR 14 Part 135. Study 121. Whatever is relevant to this position. I guarantee you, 100% guarantee you that if you walk in prepared, just like you did with your commercial pilot check ride, you walk in prepared, things will go easy. They will not grill you as much if you know what you're talking about. If you already understand rest requirements for Part 135 pilots, and this is a Part 135 job, you are going to be ahead of the game. You're going to be ahead of the guy who didn't do that, okay? So study your regs, study Part 135, study Part 121, study IFR, study, you could even go to learning about, the airport, which actually we'll talk about that now. The airport's kind of important. So you, going back to IFR, make sure, okay, let's do it this way. All right. We'll do this a little bit differently. You're going to study where they operate, okay? Because you need to know some of this information. It's probably going to be asked of you in the interview. Let me share another screen with you real quick. We're going to go to Sky Vector, or if you have ForeFlight on your iPad, you can go there, okay? You're going to study the airport that this company operates out of, Okay, so here we go. This is skyvector.com. So it was, let me go back. Let me look at where the company operates, somewhere in Connecticut, I think. Hey, if you guys remember, throw it up in the chat before I find it so I can see. Where was it? Something Connecticut. Let's see. Oxford, Connecticut. Okay. So, and they have routes, Puerto Rico. Okay. We'll just pick random airport like in Connecticut or whatever. Okay. And I don't know my states as well. Where is Connecticut? Somewhere over here. All right. Well, this is Rhode Island. We're just going to use it for time's sake. Let's say they operate out of this airport. All right. You guys should know by now how to use SkyVector and ForeFlight. Okay. But you're going to want to know this airport. Jump in here, open up this airport and start reading and looking at it in your mind, or write it down. Hey, what kind of airport is this? Oh, it's a Class Charlie. Okay, cool. That means I'm going to be talking to ATC. That means I'm going to have certain things in regards to the regulations with Class Charlie airports. Is it lighted? Does it have approaches? Oh, yeah, it does. It's got some approaches here. And, you know, you can go into those approach plates and look at those. Here's the airport diagram. There is no limit to how much information you can study before this interview. And it may seem like a lot, but you got to remember something. There are other people who are interviewing for this same job. Do you want this job or not? That's the question. Do you want this job? If you want this job, then prepare. I heard somebody one time say, improper planning on your part does not require an emergency on my part, right? If you plan and you're ready, then you're going to be way ahead. So go into the airport, learn what kind of airport it is, look at the tower frequencies. Does it have an ASOS? They might ask you, does this airport have an AWOS or ASOS? Oh, I know it has an ASOS because I looked at it beforehand. If you can remember the frequencies, that would be good, but that might be a little bit extra. You might not need to remember all the stinking frequencies, okay? But, you know, at least knowing what kind of approaches they have is important. Knowing, you know, what kind of airport it is in regards to the Charlies, the Deltas, the Bravos, you know where this company operates. Man, look at Jet A, 1099 and $789 for 100 low lead. Wow. Anyways, okay. How are we going to survive? Anyways, all right. It's so expensive. Okay. Moving on. Let's talk about, I'm going to throw up this code. Actually, I already have it on screen. Okay. I want to, little bit of self-promotion here. This is 100% for you guys. Okay. If you guys would like a free ebook, all right, I wrote this ebook. It's just a basic breakdown, about 4 or 5 pages of how you can kind of get your career started. Real basic stuff. Okay. It's not detailed in length, but if you go to my website, commercialpic.com, I'll take you there now. Okay. I want to show you how you can download a free ebook. This ebook is 100% free for you to read on your iPad, on your tablet, on whatever it is that you have. Okay. If you go to, like I said, commercialpic.com. Okay. Here's the core values I was telling you about. Go to the homepage, build your career. Yeah, let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of that banner real quick. It's kind of in the way. Okay. Here's my website, right? There's information here for you guys. Here's some series that I'm doing, the cargo stuff. If you want to know and learn about how to become a cargo pilot, watch these videos. If you've already seen them, hey, throw up a like there and a comment. You know, would love that. The Career Pilot Academy, I just launched that. This is going to go into major depth of how to build a resume, how to build a cover letter. I'm going to teach you how to do it so that way you do not have to spend the money for a service for them to do it for you. You're going to learn how to do it yourself. And then stuff like this, how to interview, all that is going to be part of this. I've launched that. All right, let me get back to why I came here in the first place. Right here, above and beyond your commercial pilot certificate. This is a free ebook. All you have to do is click it. That's it. That's all you have to do is click it. It's going to ask you to fill out some super basic information, and it opened up in another page, so you can't see it, but whatever. Super basic information. Your information is just there, so that way I can email you the ebook. That's it. All right. That information is not shared. It is just straight for the process of, getting on that mailing list, and then I send you the ebook, and then I'll send you updates. If we go live or something like that, you'll get those. Of course, you can opt out of that at any time and unsubscribe at any time, but that is there for you to have for free. All right, let's get back into the interview process. How are you guys doing? What do you guys think so far? Are you enjoying this content? Do me a favor, comment. Let's talk. Let's chat. We would love your questions as we go through this. And of course, please add a like to the stream. Okay. Let's talk about prepping for the physical interview. Now, you may have a Zoom call, you may have a in-person interview, okay? A lot of companies now, the way it works is the first thing they do is they call you and they tell you, we have a time for you, like I was saying earlier. Sometimes, though, they will actually have you come in person, okay? So if that's what happens, we're going to go through some tips for you, some reminders. A lot of this is common sense, okay? But I like to go through it because it helps keep it fresh. Hey, Luke, good to see you. Appreciate the comment. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're getting value out of all this, and hope you're having a good Saturday. All right. So first thing is first in regards to the physical interview, which like I said, could be a phone call. All right. I want you to treat them as the same. Don't differentiate. And there's a reason why. Okay. The reason why for that is, hang on a second. Yeah. The reason why for that is it's all about your mindset and your first impression. Okay. Oh, really dumb thing to say, but hygiene is important. All right. It's just important. When I say hygiene, I'm not talking about I'm not just talking about smelling bad. I'm talking about smelling too good. If you walk into an interview and you smell like a perfume or a cologne store, it is going to send a bad first impression. Okay. Most people understand to take a dang shower before you go to your interview, I would hope. But not everybody thinks to take a shower before they have a Zoom call. Okay. I'll bet that 9 out of 10 people in this little session here did not take a shower before we met. I did, because I want to make an impression. All right. Like I said to you, get some good first impressions about me. We'll talk a little bit more about that. It's good for your mindset. It's healthy. Okay. You're clean, you're fresh, you're ready. That's important. It adds to your confidence. It adds to your ability to speak what you know about, and you're not distracted by your funk, right? I know it's stupid, but hey, come on, let's be honest here, right? I'm gonna give you guys real life information. We're not fluffing anything here. Let's talk reality, okay? All right, next one I want you to really, 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 really take seriously, okay? Regardless if you have an interview in person or an interview on Zoom or whatever, right? If you're on a phone call, not as big of a deal, okay? But you never know when that phone call might be a Zoom call. I mean, just be ready for it, okay? Here's what I want to tell you. You absolutely should outdress your interviewer. Let me tell you something. I have had so many successes with this. Now, let me just say a little disclaimer. I am not saying anything bad about how anybody dresses, okay? I could really care less how anybody else dresses, but I do care how I dress, because I am trying to make a good first impression. I want my interviewer to look at me, see my nice tie, see my clean cut, shaved beard, which I'll talk about beards with pilots in a little bit, okay? My presentation is important to me because I want to make a good first impression. You do not get a second chance to make a good first impression. Write that one down because it's so true. And yeah, wear pants during your Zoom call because you might have to stand up and you do not want to be standing up not wearing pants. Also, wearing pants, okay? See, I got pants on. Wearing pants has a effect on your psyche. If you're not wearing pants and you're not wearing socks and you're sitting there in a shirt and you're like, you feel fake, right? You feel like you're, I feel like I'm half-ass in this. Don't half-ass it, whole ass it, okay? Whole ass this interview and give it your everything because this job could change your life. It absolutely could change your life, all right? Put everything you have into this. Even if you don't get the offer, put everything you've got into it, okay? So your hygiene and your dress are very important. One more thing about dress is don't wear red. It's dumb. I know. I wore a blue tie today because I didn't want to wear red. And the reason why is there's a psychology with red. People see red and it's like this predatory thing and they see you and it's an intimidation. I love this tie. It's my favorite tie. In fact, it's a clip-on. Even better, I can be lazy and put that thing on and it's done, right? No, today I tied a real tie, okay? Like I said, I wanted you guys to get a good first impression about me. I'm living what I'm preaching, all right? I didn't put a clip-on tie, I didn't put a red tie on, and then I tell you guys to don't do that. Sure, wear a clip-on tie, that's fine. But I wore a real tie, it's blue. I'm dressed the way I want to dress because this meeting with you is important to me. I take this seriously. Of course, I'm not like, a stiff, right? But I take this seriously because it's important. The person sitting across from the table has never met you. They don't know who you are. Make that good first impression. And red kind of, it detracts from the situation, right? Especially don't wear a red shirt. Bad, right? Blues are good. Grays are good. Black is okay. Like normally I probably wouldn't wear this like in my first interview. I'd like to wear a neutral color, gray or blue or something like that, and then have a coordinating tie and you'll look sharp. All right. If you want to wear black, fine, but you kind of look like you're at the club a little bit. So be careful with that. Especially if you wear silk ties, you look straight mafia. So don't do that. But anyways, all right, enough about ties. All right. Let's talk about the next thing, right? We're talking about my presentation right here with you. You're getting ready to do the Zoom call, which basically right now we're on a Zoom call. We are, okay? Background, what do I have? I have a nice, clean background. Now you can use a screen. This is just fabric. I just bought this fabric from Hobby Lobby. It's like $6. It's cheap, right? You can use blue or green, whatever it is. Make sure two things. One, if you're gonna do a green screen, make it look good. Don't make it look garbagey because it's distracting, right? You don't want something that's distracting. Clean background, right? Don't have your nasty underwear sitting on the shelf in the back there, okay? Not good, right? People are going to notice that. And think about this. They just asked you a really important question and you start telling it to them and they're looking at your pile of nasty in the back there. They're not listening to a word you're saying, not a dang word. They're looking at your pile of nasty back there. Don't do that, okay? Clean background and then good lights, okay? When I have lights, I like to have a couple different colors. You can see a different color coming from this side. And this side over here is like a white. It's a soft light, okay? You definitely don't want a light that looks like this. Maybe this is, I look like I'm in a, I don't know, scary story or something. It just looks bad, right? Look at the shadows on my face. They look terrible. I've got a shadow in my nose going up into my eyeball. It looks horrible, right? Think about little stuff like that. Think about your lighting. Soft lighting, a little bit of color, comfortable environment. That's what I've set up for you guys, okay? Comfortable environment. You're gonna make a good first impression, right? That's what we're going for. Okay. All right. Now, let's talk about some actual physical preparation, okay? These next three, Super important. Super, super important. I want you to really take these ones seriously, okay? If you guys see some background or hear some background noise, I apologize. Not much I can do about that, but we are going to do the best we can with what we've got. All right. Physically print out, I don't have mine now. Physically print out your own cover letter, your own resume, and your application. All right. If you stick around with this channel long enough, I'll get into how to write your own cover letter and your own resume. If you're just joining me from social media, welcome to the live stream. This is all about building your pilot interview, and we're going to be doing a giveaway at the end. We're going to be doing Sporty's pilot course giveaway. Okay, just for you guys. All right, we'll get there. So have a physical copy of your cover letter, your resume, and your application ready for your own reference. And here's another pro tip. If you are going to a physical location, have extra copies. It's an old school tactic. Nobody gives out resumes anymore at interviews. Well, I do. And you know why I do? Because it makes a good first impression. And I can promise you, I wouldn't speak this stuff if I didn't believe it, because it freaking works. All right. I had an interview recently where I handed the physical copies to the person before they said anything. And they're like, thank you so very much. I don't have to go in my email to look for it. And I was like, well, I've got it for you right here. It made their day a little bit easier. Okay. Just going to look real quick through the comments here. So Mick Batterson, thank you for your comment. I appreciate it. Is previous marijuana use a disqualifier for the medical exam, airman physical? Just asking for a friend. My best answer for this is we live in 2022. Medical marijuana and stuff is a thing. Personally, I avoid it like the plague. And I even go to where if I'm in a room, somebody's, doing that, I walk out. And maybe I'm crazy, but I don't want any of that in my bloodstream. None of it. Because, look, I'm not saying you have to do this. This is definitely your life or your friend's life, right? If you can shake it and get rid of it and be done with it, you will have more success. Your career will be better off. Okay. So keep it out of your bloodstream, because if you have to take a urine test or you have to take any kind of test, I've taken a hair test. They pluck a hair and then they test it. That stuff stays in your hair for a minute. Okay. In your bloodstream, whatever. I just like to keep it out, completely out. Quick story. I was going to stay at a pilot crib, house, whatever you want to call it. Pilot, a bunch of pilots shack up and they all work. A couple guys that were living there were not pilots, and they smoked pot. And I said, nope, I don't want to be in a house that has that junk. To me, it's junk. If it's a medical thing, that's of course something you'll have to discuss with your DPE and let them make that decision. But I would absolutely 100% avoid it if you possibly can. Just because you just never know when you're going to get a drug test. And hey, companies do this now. They want to know what you're doing. They will give you a drug test. The last couple jobs, guaranteed drug test, guaranteed. And I'm like, okay, I don't do that stuff, so it's not a big deal to me. If it's legal, I'm going off on a tangent here, but this is important. If it's legal, fine. But the company has the final word. They might say, we don't want that stuff. And they make that decision. They don't want anything, just like with the regulations in regards to alcohol, 0.04 blood alcohol level. They don't want anything. Think about what they're thinking. They don't want anything that's going to inhibit their pilots from getting the job done and being safe. So it's just best to avoid it if you can. Comment from my dad. Say hi to my dad, everybody. Way you present yourself in the way, well, you will potentially represent the company you're trying to get hired by. Great point. You are representing this company. This company is going to hire you because they are putting you out into the public. the chief pilot, he's not doing the flights. He's not out there serving the community. You are. So they are going to hire you to represent them in the best possible way, and how you look and present yourself in the interview will give them an impression of how you are going to operate when you are out there in the field. Dress for the job you want, not the job that you have. If you work at a pineapple stand in Hawaii, you can wear whatever you want, man. But if you're going to be a pilot for Hawaiian Airlines, you better not show up in a hula shirt, because that's the job that you have. The job that you want is to be an airline pilot with a tie, with a collared shirt, with epaulets, right? Get used to wearing this kind of, uniform, I suppose you could say. So that's that. Good points. Thank you guys jumping in there. More comments, more questions. Love to go through that stuff. Love it. All right, moving on. Like I said, this is going to be a long one. Okay, we got a lot of material. All right, couple of things. Have some canned answers. Okay, what I mean by this is we're going to have some examples in the next section. Just note that one for now. You're going to have 3 to 4 canned answers ready to go for when you get asked these questions. I'll get into that deeper in a minute. Then when you go back to LinkedIn or their website, you are looking at all the information about them. This is the perfect time for you to say, what do I want to ask them? Because you've got to remember something here. You're not the only one getting interviewed in this meeting. You are interviewing them. It's a two-way street. They're interviewing you. You are interviewing them. They're paying you to do a job. You are agreeing to do that job. They're agreeing to give you money for that job. So you need to know who you're working for. Okay. So have those 2 to 3 interviewing them questions ready to go. Okay. All right. I'll just put this up for you guys as a quick little reminder. Write that one down. That one will help you a lot in the next part. All right. I'm going to do a little switch up of the music here. Let me know if it's too loud. Let me know how the audio is. If everything sounds good, we'll keep moving on. Okay. Now, the interview, right? Whether it is the actual physical interview or it's the Zoom call, be early, 10 to 15 minutes early. I've been sitting in this chair for 30 to 45 minutes ready to meet you guys. Why? Because I'm prepping. I'm looking at stuff. I'm reading my notes. I'm like, okay, I want to make sure that I present myself in the best possible way. Yeah, I'm a human. Yeah, I'm going to make mistakes. That's okay. But I want to be ready. So I was ready 30, 45 minutes. I was just sitting here watching the clock and going through my material. Do the same thing with your interview. If you're in a physical interview, study a little bit in your car. Start going through that stuff. But whatever you do, please do not be late. I have had interviewers, my panel, be late. I've had people not even show up. I will go into the Zoom call and I'll be sitting there 10:15, 10:20, 10:30. My interview is at 10 o'clock, 10:45. And I'm like, I don't think they're showing up. I got ghosted. I got totally ghosted. And then, of course, from there, you send messages, whatever. But I was ready if they showed up. Sometimes they've showed up 10, 15 minutes late, whatever. But you were there early, okay? Be there early. Make that great first impression, okay? That is just, there's so much about that that's important, okay? So before you get in there, just know that, like with the Zoom call, if you've never done it before, they will start the call. They'll send you an email. You'll click on that link and it'll say, click here to join. You'll join and then you will go in there and it will basically populate. And then when they let you into the interview, you'll see it pop up and you'll be ready. Make sure your microphone and your video camera, or if you're on a phone or an iPad or a tablet, make sure those are all on, okay? Make sure you're on a Wi-Fi connection. Like little things like this are important to to do ahead of time, because it's not good when you go in there and the microphone is off and you're talking to them and you are the video is off and your Wi-Fi is off or something like that, right? And they're waiting for you to get your crap together. Like, don't do that. Please don't do that. Like I said, we make mistakes. That's fine, but just be ready, right? Just be ready. Okay. Then when they open up the interview, right, your heart's going to be pounding. You're going to be nervous, right? It's okay. Just breathe. Just remember, being slow is efficient and fast, okay? Something that the military says. Slow is fast, whatever, right? Just slow down, take a breath. You got this. You've studied, you've prepped for it. You got this, okay? So first thing I like to do is I like to address them in a proper way. Usually they'll say, for me, they'll say, "Hey, Seth, welcome to the interview. My name is Joe Pilot. I'm the chief pilot here." Sometimes, though, you won't get the chief pilot right away. You'll get HR, or like I said, with the person that we looked at earlier, they are, the talent acquisition. They'll introduce themselves, whatever. They'll just break the ice. So address them properly. If it's a chief pilot, say, "Hey, sir, thank you very much for meeting with me. I really appreciate your time today." Boom, first impression. Appreciate your time. I'm here to add value to your company. Write that one down. You are there to add value to their company. That's why they're talking to you. And they're also talking to 12 other dudes to see who's going to add the most value to their company. Make sure it's you that adds the most value to their company. So be respectful and have that great first impression. I mean, great. Do the best you can, okay? Do the best you can. If you show up like this, right, and you're clean cut and you don't smell like a factory who produces cologne in France, okay, and you have your resume in your hand, which is an old school tactic that still works and is still appreciated by the older generations, okay, know that you are going to make a good first impression from the start. Okay, that's important. You will get a little bit of grace from these people if you start with a good first impression. Okay, you say something that's kind of dumb, and I've done it. I've said really dumb things, but I was like, I'm sorry, I misspoke. That was my mistake. I need to make sure that I understand it a little bit better. They will give you some forgiveness. They will give you some grace. But if you walk in there smelling like a foot and you have zero self-confidence, they're going to look at you like, this is a waste of our time. Moving on. We got 12 more people to do today, and this guy's not it. Don't be that guy, okay? Make that good first impression. All right. I think it's time for the second part of the code for the Sporty's giveaway. What do you guys think? Let's bring this up. So if you are just tuning in, we're doing a Sporty's giveaway. I'm going to talk about it like 6 more times. So if you've already heard it, get used to it. Okay. Learn to fly course. We're going to talk about how to do this real quick. Go to sportys.com/setup2. Set up yourself a profile. You need to have a Sporty's profile in order to win this gift or this Learn to Fly course. Give it to a friend. Use it as a refresher. Use it as a bookmark. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's yours. Okay. Go to sportys.com/setup2. Sporty's did sponsor this giveaway. Thank you to Sporty's for doing that. Much appreciated. Really glad to see Sporty's giving back to their community. I love that. That's great. All right. Next digits. If you guys are ready. So once you have that set up, you're going to have an activation code. In fact, let's take a look at it real quick so you can see what it's going to look like. I'm going to do a share screen real fast so you can see how this looks in live time for the Sporties. Where did it go? There it is. Okay, this is what you're going to see. The Learn to Fly course. You're going to have this description. This is the website I just said, setup, sportys.com/setup2. Description, enter code. Okay. You are going to enter in the rest of the code once it's all done. First person to enter the entire code is going to win it. Makes it super easy for everybody. So you're going to do this. All right. There's the next numbers. I'm going to put it on screen in a second, right? Have it ready. because as soon as you hit activate, it's gonna, if you get it, you're gonna win. Okay. All right, let me put up that on screen. Okay. Just so you have it for a few minutes, because I don't want you guys to miss it. There is the next 4 digits of the code, and we're going to continue on with this interview process. Okay. I just want to thank you guys for being here. Really great to be able to help you through this stuff. And I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying myself. I hope you guys are enjoying yourself as well. Feel free to share the stream, like the stream, send it to your mom and tell her to jump on. I don't know, whatever. Got another question here from Luke. In today's market, how often are companies hiring below listed minimums? Man, great question, Luke. Great question. Okay. My answer is it is changing. That's my answer. It is changing. Okay. The job we just looked at for the PIC and the first officer for the company flying Pilatus PC-12s, I guarantee you about 2 years ago or even less, that job had at least 1,000 hours minimum or 750 hours minimum. What companies are doing now is they know the pilot shortage thing is a problem. They know that it is difficult to find good pilots, which, hey, we are here to be better pilots. We are here to make an impression. This is our industry, man. We own this industry. This is ours. Let's knock it out of the park. Let's make the best impression. Let's let this industry grow and thrive. And doing simple stuff like not wearing a red tie during your interview is going to make a difference. I know it sounds dumb, but in the long run, you get that job. Now you're contributing to aviation. All right, back to your question. So what they're doing is they're looking at, we have a situation here where it's harder to find good pilots, or it's harder to find pilots with high time, especially if pilots burn out and they quit, which is happening a lot. It's bad. Okay. It's really bad. Low time pilot, 350 hours, 400 hours, 500 hours, whatever it is that you're at, there's a chance, pretty good chance. If it's not in their minimums that they say 500 hours, like the one we just looked at, there's a good chance that they will hire you and put you in basically training, on the job training, sit you right seat, and you'll build hours. Okay. You'll build hours with the company before you're qualified. Not every company. This is not a, this is the way it is. Some companies may do that. They have to do it legally. Okay. Absolutely have to do it legally. But there are ways. I flew with a company that they handed me the keys to a 172 and said, you need 20 hours more of nighttime. Go fly this thing for 4 or 5 hours a night. It was a company airplane. And when you're done, come on back, right? But I was still with the company. I went and flew their 172 and punched holes in the sky at night, which was fun. So fun. Loved it. Just doing touch and goes at random airports in the dark. I mean, of course, they had lights, but whatever. I was building time for a company for a position that I was hired with. So you might get hired at 350 hours for a 500-hour first officer position because they are building you up to that position. And hey, you're building time with the company, which is always good. Okay. It's going to be good for your time with company. And eventually you'll get the opportunity to be promoted. And you can say, yeah, I've been with the company for 6 years. The first year I spent all this time building, night flying. Like I said, not every company, but a lot of companies are going to start shifting, and that is changing. All right. Good question, Luke. Appreciate it. If you got more, throw them in there and we will get through it. Okay. Real quick, I just want to do another quick mention. Something I really like and would love to see what you guys think. Let me share my screen again with you. So if you head to commercialpic.com, you head to the website. It's not for everybody, right? But this is something I like to do. I personally like cool aviation t-shirts, right? It says something stupid on there like the FAA is preventing me from flying. Well, you know, it's just something dumb, right? I just love stuff like that, right? You just see a guy walk in. There's a guy who walks into a wedding and he's the only guy there wearing a shirt and it says, "I'm a pilot." And everybody's like, "So you're a pilot, right?" Everybody else is wearing a suit and it says, "I'm a pilot," or it's got an airplane or something. I love that stuff. If you go to the website, if you're interested, don't have to. It does support the channel. It does support this mission, and it helps me do this material and give this material away to the public without charging for it. Okay. Go into shop merchandise, right? I've got some merchandise that I created. If you guys are interested in getting some cool t-shirts to wear at the airport, let everybody know you're a pilot, wear something like this. You know, this is right here. This is a good shirt. I love this shirt. I've got this shirt. I wear this shirt all the time. 4 Forces of Flight. Anyways, you can scroll through, look at the shirts. Okay. I've also got some, you know, some merchandise, coffee mugs if you're interested. Okay. Like I said, you don't have to buy this stuff. This is just me doing a little bit of self-promotion so I can keep the channel going. Stickers, shirts, whatever. All right. All you got to do is go to, you just click on like pilots apparel. Let's see if it opens up. Of course, it keeps opening up in a new tab. That's okay. This will take you to my my store, right? And you can go in there, look around, look at the different t-shirts, the different models, and have fun. Okay. All right. Enough about t-shirts. Let's get back into the material. Okay. So when you start this interview, they're going to start talking to you right away. This is how it usually goes. "Hey, Seth, we're glad to have you today. This is your panel. Maria, she's in HR. Jeff, he's the chief pilot. And I'm Claudia, your HR, whatever, right? This is your opportunity to let them know, hey, I just want to let you know, I'm going to be taking some notes. All right. This is a good thing to let them know. And the reason why is because you, one, would like to take notes because it's a position is important to you, but two, it doesn't look like you're distracted, right? This typically with Zoom calls. Obviously, if you're taking notes in person, they're not going to ask you, "Hey, what are you doing?" You know, it's probably good to say, "I'm not like doodling. I'm actually taking notes." But yeah, take really, really, really good notes, by the way. But let them know, "Hey, I'm just taking notes. I hope that's okay." That just basically gives them a heads up on that. All right, next thing. We already talked about this next thing, but it's important. I want to say it again, and then we'll move on. You are there to add value to this company. You are filling a position. You're filling a spot. You're filling a need that they have. So make that good first impression, and remember that it's not about you so much. It's about them in a way. Yeah, you're accepting money for this position, but regardless, it's about them. Next tip here, very, 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 very important that you think about this before you really even apply to a job, but especially if you get hired, if you get interviewed, especially if you get interviewed. Okay. Let me say this real quick. I have a lot of experience in this, but I also have mentors. This information that I'm telling you guys doesn't just come from me. It comes from people who are higher up in companies, vice presidents, aviation recruiters, airline pilots. I've talked to a lot of people and I've asked them about this information. I've gotten this information. I'm sharing it with you. So this is a collaboration of a lot of different higher time pilots and top level executives who have done the interview process, who have done the hiring and firing process over and over and over and over again. So I am basically giving you inside information. So like this and share it because people need to know this stuff. This is one of those tips. Don't disqualify yourself. Never, 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 never disqualify yourself. Let them do that. Let them make that decision. It is important that you present your absolute best and don't say, "Well, I only have 350 hours. Hey, you got an interview, bro. 350 hours and you got an interview. Don't look at that as a negative. Don't disqualify yourself at all. That is important. Let them do that. Let them say, "Okay, well, this guy doesn't have as much experience as we need, so we'll move on. Let them do that. Don't do that first, because then you'll put yourself out of the interview like that. So don't disqualify yourself. All right. Okay. The next section. This section is, I hope you're ready for this. All right. I really hope you're ready for this. This is freaking huge. We're going to go through every single question, almost every question you're going to get asked during this interview. And I'm going to tell you how to answer these questions. It's easy. It's so easy. Okay. Work with me. It's easy. Just remember a couple of things and you will blow through this interview. Okay. Respectfully, it's taken me a long time to master this skill, but you can master this skill. Okay. So I'm not discrediting what these companies are asking, because the company's questions that they're asking are absolutely important. So don't blow it off by any means. And but this is good preparation. So they're going to start asking you questions about the interview. We'll get into questions here in a second. I want you to remember ELT. Okay. This is, you know what an ELT is, emergency locator transmitter, right? You crash your airplane, turns on, search and rescue finds you, you have a beer and you're safe, whatever. I want you to remember experience, logic, truth. This is how you're going to answer every single one of these questions. Experience, logic, truth. And what I mean by that is when you get asked this question, run through those three in your mind. Do I have experience with this that they're asking? Logic, it would be, no, I don't have experience with this. So what would I logically do in this situation? And the third one is truth. If you don't know the answer, tell them, I don't know the answer. Be honest. Truth and honesty goes so far. It's monumental. If you're honest and you're truthful and you have good values from the beginning, they will realize one thing that's really important. We don't need to teach this guy how to be a good person. We don't need to teach this guy, and we can't teach this guy to have good self-esteem and to be confident and take authority, because you're a pilot in command. You're taking authority over an airplane. It's a big deal. If you don't have that to begin with, then you can't get that. They can teach you how to fly an airplane. They can teach you how to fly an approach. They can teach you how to fly with ADS-B. They can teach you stuff, but they can't teach you honesty, truth, value, integrity. You make sure you have all these things, and make sure that when you get asked a question, you take the opportunity to express those qualities. So ELT, experience, logic, truth. All right, first question you're going to get, not in this order. It's just a possibility that you will get asked this question. I say that because I've been asked this question hundreds of times. Let me tell you, I've taken so many interviews. I've done a lot of interviews. Okay. I actually kind of get to the point now where I do interviews for fun because I'm weird. All right. So I do interviews for fun because it's a building a skill and a muscle that I want to continue to grow. Okay. Wow. I totally spelled experience wrong. I'm going to fix that right now. All right, man, auto correct, spell check. What a great tool for stuff like this. All right. First question, the emergency question, goes like this. So tell us about a time that you were either part of an emergency or you witnessed an emergency, and what did you do about it? If you don't prepare for this question, you're going to look like a deer in the headlights. Going back to what we said earlier, having canned answers ready to go. This is one of those questions. First question, or first way to answer this. Do I have any experience with this? If the answer is no, how are you going to answer this question? You're going to use logic, and at the end of the day, tell the truth. So this is how I would answer this question. Personally, I have experience with this. I've encountered 2 different emergencies that I love that happened to me because I can use them for this question. Granted, I'm not like cheating the system here. I'm giving a legitimate, answer, but these are good. I'm glad I've been through these things, and I'll get into them later. But basically, one emergency I had was flying in on approach, and right when we were getting ready to turn final, we lost all hydraulics. every single drop of hydraulic fluid dumped out of the bottom of the airplane, and we couldn't put the gear down on short final. Okay, that was kind of an emergency. It wasn't like, oh, we're going to crash by any means, but it was like, we can't land. We got to go around. We got to fix this. All right, that was a little bit of an emergency. Second, I was working at a fuel storage facility, and we had a major fuel spill. I'm talking hundreds and thousands of gallons of Jet A fuel on this site, and it's pouring out like a fire hydrant, and people are getting covered in jet fuel. Is horrible. All right, but I have that experience now. So my first answer to this would be that story. I'm going to tell that story. And usually this is what I get. Wow, right? It's good. If you have an emergency like that, tell that story because it makes you human, right? You're like, this is what I've been through. Tell that story. If you don't have a story like that, tell what you think you should do. All right, first thing I'm going to do in that situation is I'm going to notify let's say I'm at an airport, right? First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to notify airport operations and emergency services so we can get this situation taken care of. Then I'm going to look at my standard operating procedures for this and see what my company wants me to do, which usually is contact your supervisor, let them know what's going to happen or what is going on. Your supervisor will tell you how you're going to proceed with this emergency, blah, 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 right? That's the logic portion. And you can say, I haven't really been through that situation, so that's my best instinct of what to do. You shouldn't have a I don't know what to do answer. You should have an answer for that. Okay, next question. Man, write these down because these questions are going to get asked. My throat, my voice. These questions are going to get asked of you during this interview. We'll see if my voice lasts through this whole interview. Okay, next question. Here we go. Yeah. All right. Hey, you gotta laugh, man. You gotta laugh. All right. Okay. Customer service. All right. Remember, you're a pilot and you're serving the community. You're serving the public. They're going to say to you, tell us a situation where you encountered a customer service problem or you had the opportunity to present great customer service. What did you do and what would you do in the future? Okay. Go back to ELT, experience, logic, truth. Go through you can tell a story about customer service, I hope. If not, what would you do? And then if you're like, well, I've never worked in customer service, so I wouldn't know what to do. That's okay. Make sure you tell them that. Next question is the difficult coworker or customer question. This one's a great one. Okay. Like I said, this is going to be a long stream, guys. I don't expect y'all to stick around. I hope you do. I'm going to be here until we're done. But I am getting through this. There's a lot of material here, but we will get through it. Okay. Let's see. Difficult coworker, right? Usually the way this question goes is, tell us about a time when you have encountered a difficult coworker or a difficult customer. What would you do? What did you do? This one, hopefully you've got experience with this. Again, think, well, I got to control the situation, but I also got to make sure in the customer situation, the customer is the priority. The company pays you my salary because I fly customers around the country, or I fly boxes to customers around the country. Customer service is important. We're losing customer service skills in this country by the day because people don't appreciate and value how their dang salary gets paid. All right. So customer service, I would say something like, well, this customer, I have stories with this, but I won't tell you them because they're boring. This customer was unhappy about this. I did absolutely everything I could to make sure they were satisfied. I did this, I did that. I talked to my supervisor. They said, this is approved. And we changed the customer's attitude. And when they left the store, they were happy. That's a good thing to say. They're going to want to see that. They're going to want to see your skills. You can solve problems, right? Be a problem solver. Why? They have a problem. You need to fix it. This is your job. Okay. You represent the company every single day of your life. Okay. Next question that you're probably going to get asked is the following. Tell us about a time that you encountered a drunk or inhibited coworker and or a customer, which is important for pilots. And what did you do about it? Well, my buddy, he was drunk. He was about ready to get on the airplane. I did absolutely everything I could to stop that flight from happening because I did not want to go on a flight with a drunk co-pilot who could potentially crash his airplane. We're talking about breaking safety. We're talking about breaking regulations. Think safety, regulations, legal and safe, always. If it's customer, there are regulations with flying passengers that are under the influence. That's illegal. If they are drinking while you're flying, that is illegal. It's not that way with the airlines because, they don't have access to the cockpit. They're behind a closed thing, so they can serve alcohol on commercial airlines. But unlike a Pilatus PC-12, there's no barrier. A drunk person could get to the pilots. It's illegal. So you do not want to take a flight with an inhibited passenger. You do not want to take a flight with an inhibited coworker. They're under the influence. Do everything you possibly can to make sure. No, do not take that flight. Not everything you possibly can. Do not take that flight. Contact your supervisor. Tell them immediately. This is what you're going to be saying to this panel. I'm going to contact my supervisor and tell them my coworker is drunk and I need another co-pilot so I can complete this mission. Again, be mission-minded. You want to finish the job, but you can't because of situations that are out of your control. So let's get a new pilot, whatever, right? And then again, if you don't have the background with that, just think safety and what's legal. Oh, the next question. This one's a tough one, but I've been asked this question. It's a hard question to answer because you don't really know what they're looking for when they ask you this question. But you should know. Okay, here's what it is. Oh, that's not it. Here's what it is. Tell us a time when you have broken a rule or a regulation or have gone outside of the standard operating procedures, and what did you do to fix it or whatever, right? It's a question like this. This question sucks because I don't break rules. I don't break standard operating procedures. I don't break regs. So I hate this question because I hate answering it. However, I still answer it. Well, I've actually never been this is what I would say. Well, I've never been in a situation where I had to break a rule. And even if I did break a rule, the only time it would be acceptable is if it was an emergency, which from your studying as a pilot, an emergency is when you can deviate from regulations. That is the only time you can break a rule. Otherwise, don't break the rules. And make sure you let them know I am going to be a straight arrow of a pilot. I am not going to break the standard operating procedures. I'm not going to break the regulations. I'm not going to deviate from ATC instructions unless it's an emergency. That tells them you have integrity, you're a good quality person, you're valuable, and you know your regs. You know your stuff. You now are becoming, by the minute, a very, very, very valuable candidate for them to hire. Okay. This stuff is major. And like I said, having those canned answers ahead of time is really going to help you with that. Next question. There's a bunch. I'm giving you them all because I've been asked them all, and I want you to be as prepared as absolutely possible. I know it's a lot. Okay. But that's why this recording will go on the channel. You can come back, you can watch it, and you can take time to digest it because it's a lot. Okay. Next question. Real quick, if you're tuning in for the first time, I just want to thank you guys for being here. Do me a favor, hit a like on this stream on YouTube and share it with somebody that you know and care about. And stick around for the Sporty's pilot giveaway, learn to fly course, refresher course. We're going to get to that. The next numbers are coming soon. So as soon as we get through these questions, you'll have some more digits to enter. Okay, here we go. The weather and dispatch dilemma. This question is something like this. You get a call from dispatch and they want you to fly to Oxford, Connecticut. You look at the weather. There's a major thunderstorm blocking your way. Dispatch says if you do not get the passengers or the corporate, like if you're working corporate, they are going to cancel the flight. What do you do? I hate this question too, because you're like, all right, thanks for the dilemma. Now I have to work my way through this situation. Here's how I answer this. I am not going to put myself or my passengers in a position that will inhibit their flight or cause the flight to crash or whatever, right? Not only are you mission minded, you want to get the mission done, but not at the safety of your people, not at the safety of the boxes on the plane, or or if there's kids, whatever it is, animals, whatever it is. You're not going to risk yourself. You're not going to risk the lives of the people that are on the plane to complete the flight. So how I answer this question? Well, first of all, I'm going to use my pilot instincts. Maybe you don't say it like that, but say it's something like, I have my I'm safe checklist, right? I can use that to make a determination. Is the weather, there's a checklist. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I think it's a risk assessment checklist. Can't remember the name of it. Anyways, you assess all the risks and it tells you whether or not that's a good decision to make. It's a decision-making checklist. Anyways, so basically answer it this way. Again, go back to the experience, logic, and truth. If you have experience with this, tell that story. If you have, if you don't, then tell what you would do. Dispatch in this situation does not tell you what to do as a pilot. You are the pilot in command. You control the airplane. It is your responsibility. You are the final authority of that airplane, not dispatch, not the co-pilot if you're a captain, and not the passengers. You are. Make the decision. I am not going to take that flight. I'm going to do everything I can. If we have to delay that flight, I'm going to explain to the customer, I'm sorry, we have a thunderstorm in the way. It's got very violent activity, lots of lightning, lots of hail. I do not want to fly into a thunderstorm. So we're going to either delay it or we're going to deviate and go a different route. Whatever it is you have to do, keep your passengers safe, get them home, and get the mission done if you can. Do not jeopardize those two things. That's how you're going to answer this question. Okay. Next question you're going to answer. We're almost done with the questions. Okay. Like I said, there's a lot. Oh, I just totally. Yeah. Okay. All right. The discovered a hazard on the job question. So it'll go like this. So you go to work, you get out to dispatch, and before you get there, you look and you find that one of the generators has leaked all over the ground, or let's say it's even more of a hazard, like some kind of biohazard, or I don't know, some like dangerous potential thing is leaking everywhere, or hydraulic fluid all over the ground, or you get into the cockpit and you smell fuel, like just bad things, right? What are you going to do in that situation? Here's how you answer that. Again, do you have experience with this? No, I don't. So what am I going to do? Well, first thing I'm going to do is, depending on the hazard, if it is like really bad, like if it's a biohazard or it's something, really nasty, like, I don't know, package or something, or backpack, like, you're like, oh, there's a backpack, it's a leaking green goo, now we have a potential threat situation. So think about it that way. First thing you're going to do, if it's at that severity, call the authorities, right? Get emergency response, all that stuff. If not, if it's like, hey, we just have hydraulic fluid leaking all over, contact your supervisor, talk to maintenance, tell them what's going on. Make sure you keep the mission in mind. Can we get another airplane? Can we get a different time? Can we, what can we do to complete the job, but not at the safety of others, right? So get the mess clean up, cleaned up as quick as possible, and continue to progress with your day. They basically want to see your thought process, your decision process. How are you going to correct this situation that you weren't a part of? All right. Next question you're going to get asked is doozy. This question is, it's not a trick question. It is a question to see, really, how are you going to answer? I mean, I guess every question is that way, but this one's a little deeper than that. Here's the question. Excuse me. It is this. It's the rest requirement supervisor dilemma. Your supervisor calls you and says, hey, we have an extra flight. We know that you just did a 6-day trip. Can you take one more? We really need to get this mission, this flight done. The CEO of a major golf company needs to be in Tallahassee at 6 p.m. I know you just got off shift, but can you take this flight? This is the question. And you're like, oh, great, right? So, again, what are they looking for? Safety and legal. There are major legalities to this answer. Rest requirements, this is where I said, go back to what I said beforehand. You're studying rest requirements and regs. This is important for you to know. Are you flying in Part 135? You need to know the rest requirements. Are you in Part 121? You need to know the rest requirements, because they're going to ask you this stinking question. They want to see if you are prepared. They want to see if you have answered this question like, yeah, sure, I'll take it. Wrong answer. The question is set up to, if you say yes, you fail. Sounds like every FAA pilot test we've ever taken, right? So, do I have experience with this? What's the logic? The logic would be, well, I'm going to look at my rest. I'm going to keep track of my hours that I flew, and I'm going to make sure that I'm not outside those legal rest requirements for Part 135 flying. And then, if you just don't know, which I hope you don't, hopefully you did your due diligence. If you just don't know, tell them, I'm not sure really what to do in that situation. Be honest, okay? At the end of the day, be honest. All right, next question. We only have 3 more, and then we're moving on to the next thing. This one, pretty easy question to answer, but it almost gets asked every single time. This is how do you fit in this role question? Okay. Pretty easy question to answer. You're basically going to use your own experience, your own background, your resume. This is where you have your resume ready to go. Well, if you take a look at my resume, in 2017, I worked at this job, which is very similar to the job that I'm applying to. While I was there, I did these 4 things, and those qualities I'm going to take with me moving forward into this position. That's a great way to answer this question. Otherwise, come up with a way to explain, going back to the job description that you studied. You know that they want somebody who is safe and who has good flying skills, or whatever it is, good instrument skills. Use the job description to your advantage. Talk about the things that are important to them and make them important to you. That's how you answer that question. All right. 2 more questions. The last question here. Sorry, 2 more questions till we move on to the next section. But we're almost there. Okay. This next question, very easy to answer. The question after that is a tough one, right? It's one of the most important and dreaded questions that they're going to ask you. This question, though, is easy. All right. What's this question? This is, so when can you start? What's your availability? Just answer the truth. Well, actually, I'm working at a job. I'd like to give them 2 weeks notice. That tells them that you would do the same for them. I'd like to give them 2 weeks notice, and then I'm available. Whatever it is, give them a timeline. Be honest. Be direct. Don't BS them. Okay, they're gonna read your BS like that. Don't do that. Okay. All right. Plus, they want to know, hey, when are you gonna start? We got to fill this position, and it's important for us to get this role you're filled. So are you available? And they'll usually say, if considered. They're not going to, first of all, they're not going to ever offer you the job on the spot. It's rare. I've had it happen, but it's rare. Okay, next question. This is the big one. Oh, I hate this question. Are you guys with me still? I hope things are good. Feel free to throw up any comments, likes on the stream. I appreciate that. My voice is starting to go, but we'll get through this. I'm dedicated. We're going to get through this. We're going to do this. All right. Oh, no, not that one. Hang on. Little error on my part. Give me 1 sec. Here we go. All right. This question is dreaded. It's the worst. This question is like the one you never want to get asked, but you always get asked. You ready? So let me ask you, what's your expected salary for this position? How do you answer this question? Okay. Well, if you did your due diligence and you got lucky, that last job description that I showed you, they posted it. They said this position starts at $35,000 for a first officer. Then that's the number that you use. This position starts at $60,000 for a, for a captain. Then that's the number that you use. Otherwise, here's a big tip. This is a big tip that I got from one of my mentors. And it's this. In fact, I'm going to type it out for you because I want you to really get this one. Okay. All right, you ready? Spell the word correctly. I would have it to you faster. My voice. All right, you ready? The first person who mentions money loses. Remember that. What do I mean by that? Basic negotiation. If they ask you the question, okay, all right, back up. You don't lose, but you have lost advantage. It's a technique. It's a negotiation technique. All right. They have a range that they are trying to fill. Okay. They are trying to fill a position. They have a range. Gosh, I'm giving you guys some serious inside information here. Okay. Oh, I better make sure I don't get. Anyways. Okay. All right. They're going to ask you. This is if they don't post the position. Sometimes they do post the position salary. They have a range. For example, they have $35,000 to $50,000 that they are willing to pay for this role. That's the approval that they have gotten. Your number has to fall within there. So if you do your research ahead of time and you can go on a Glassdoor and you can see, oh, this position usually pays 40 or 35, whatever. You can work with that. Oh, this is a big one, but don't give a number. If you can avoid it, don't give a number. You know why? They are willing to pay up to $50,000 for this role, and you just said $28,000. Hired, $28,000. Man, we saved a ton of money because we didn't have to pay $50,000. He accepted at $28,000. Don't do that. Okay, don't do that because you need to value yourself. All right, and I say this carefully. You are valuable, and you need to know your own self-worth. Quick comment. Don't worry, I'll be here with you till the end. Thank you, Mehdi. I appreciate that. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you're getting massive value out of this, and I hope this changes your life. Okay, I want to change pilots' lives. I want you guys, but I'm going to start today. I'm going to start by changing your day. If I can change your day, maybe I can change your life with this information. Okay, let's get back into it. First person who mentions money loses advantage. That's what I should say. Okay. Now your negotiation is backwards. They have you. Okay, they're gonna pay you $28,000 because that's what you said. No, this is how you answer. Well, based on compensation for this role and my experience, I would like to ask you, what is the salary range for this position? Now you put the ball back in their court. Now they have to answer, okay? They might not answer. It's okay if they don't answer. I've been told, well, we cannot give the salary range in the first interview. We need to know what your number is so we can move forward. That's fine. That's fine. No big deal. If you want to continue to negotiate from there, well, okay, you're probably not going to get it. So what do you do next? Next, you say, all right, well, based on your research, you know that this position pays between $35,000 and $45,000 starting pay for a first officer flying a Pilatus PC-12, whatever, right? Or if it's a captain position, it's more. Take that number. Of course, do your own budget, make sure that number actually works and that you're not going to be like accepting something that you can't pay for or that you can't afford. You got to pay your bills, man. So respond this way. Okay, well, I know that this position typically pays between $35,000 and $45,000 per year. If the company offered me a salary in that range, I would be comfortable taking that. Boom. That should be the end of it. That should absolutely be the end of it. It might not be the end of it, but that's like 99% of the time, that's the end of it, right? You have come to a salary agreement. If you absolutely can, don't talk about money. Don't bring it up until the very, very end. You're probably going to have at least 2, maybe 3 interviews for this position before you're accepted. Okay. So don't talk about money if you can avoid it. If you get asked the question, this, what I just talked about, that's what you're going to do. Okay. You can do this. You got that. Okay. All right. Those are all the questions you can expect to get asked during this interview. Are you guys ready for the next digits for the Sporty's giveaway? I hope you guys are excited about this giveaway. I absolutely am. And I am going to show you guys the next 2 digits. Okay. I'm going to do a little change of the music too. It's been on for a while and I want something different. I thank you guys for sticking around. You stick to the end. It will be worth it. I promise you guys. And you guys are awesome for being here so long with me. Okay. Next digits of the Sporty's giveaway are about to be on screen as soon as I can figure out how to click the mouse like a normal person. I'm really enjoying my time hanging out with you guys. You get to see a little bit more of my personality with these live streams. I'm goofy, right? And I really like having fun. And for me, it's really good to be in here and do that, guys. Do that with you guys. Okay, here we go. Now, this code that I'm about to, these are not the last digits. Don't enter this code yet. There are more digits to come. In fact, we'll do question marks, right? So that you guys know. Hope you guys got it ready. If you're tuning in for the first time, go to sportys.com/setup2 and you're going to enter in this code. This code is going to get you a Learn to Fly course. It's a refresher course. It is a gift for somebody who wants to learn how to fly, maybe your kid, something. If you have kids, they'll learn to fly. So here's the next 2 digits. Put everything in there, get it ready, except for the question marks. The question marks are to be revealed soon. All right. I'll leave that up for you guys for a second. Okay, here we go. Now, big turn in the interview process. All right. What do I mean by that? You've been asked questions. You've been grilled. You've been asked this. You've been asked that. Guess what? Now it's your turn. Okay. This is where I said have your answers, your questions for them. Do your research on the company. Have them ready to go. It's your turn to interview them. Okay. I'm going to show you how you're going to ask these questions. Again, you're still making impressions. If you just ask them like, yeah, what's it pay? It's not going to go well. Yeah, when do I start? It's not going to go well. You need to have, because what's going to happen is they'll say, okay, well, that's the end of our questions. Is there anything you would like to ask us? This is your opportunity to get some information and make another good first impression. You can make impression after impression after impression after impression during this interview. And at the end of the day, they're going to remember you because you knocked it out of the park. And here's all the things that you should be doing to make those things happen. Okay. Question from Luke. Just for clarification, once you are contacted, you know what? Hey, let me try something real quick. Boom, look at that. Just for clarification, once you are contacted for an interview, your experience as far as the number of hours they are willing to accept, you now just have to sell yourself. Yeah, there is a line in the sand. If you don't have a certain amount of hours, they probably won't consider you. Once they look at your resume, which when we get into the resume stuff in a few weeks or whatever, you'll see how I build a resume. I'm going to teach you how to build your resume. You're going to put your hours on there, but you can do it good, clean, smart way in regards to that job. And Luke, if I mess up this question or I answered it differently and you need more clarification, just ask again and I'll jump back in. Yeah, you have to sell yourself. And the reason why you have to sell yourself is because they have application after application after resume after resume after application sitting on the desk, sitting in the email box with 1,000 freaking emails from pilots who are just cold emailing for this position. You have to make an impression. You have to stand out. Yeah, you made it through the wall of you have 500 hours and that's what they require. Now you've got to make that impression. You've got to basically tell them why you are the best candidate for this position, why the other 12 people who applied for this job would be a bad decision. You are the best person for this job. So yeah, sell yourself. Absolutely. I think that is such an important skill because a lot of people, man, like I said, they show up in a hula shirt, they show up smelling funky, and they don't make an impression, and they're gone. It's gonna sound weird, man. You are doing the old school things. You're doing the normal, I guess, things, right? Because our society now is changing. Lazier, bad customer service, whatever, right? Don't be that guy. You'll stand out just because you are doing these things. You'll make a big impression. Okay. Great question, Luke. Appreciate that. All right. So your turn to interview them, right? Here's the first question you are going to ask them. Okay. You don't have to ask these. These are just I'm giving you my questions that I always ask in interviews. And I'm trying to make a great first impression. Like I said, I've said that 1,000 times and I'll keep saying it because it's so important. So here's the question that I like to ask. Write these down. If you want, take a screenshot on your phone. If you're on your computer, take a picture, whatever it is, and get these questions in a notepad so you can refer to them. I love this question. Okay. All this is interview prep. This is all tools in your toolbox for this interview. Use it or don't. But if you use it, it will be good. So this is the question I am now asking the panel. I am asking the chief pilot this question. Mr. Jones, what type of skills and qualifications is your team looking for in a candidate like myself to start doing to add value, remember that word, to your team, important word, and help your company grow? Okay. Basically, add value, team, company grow. What I'm saying here, yeah, I'm asking a question and they're going to answer it with whatever they're going to answer. But what I'm telling them, it's a psychology thing. I'm telling them, I want to be the person that you hire that is going to add value to your teamwork, and your company is going to grow. Your company is going to make money and you're going to grow. And I am going to be the person that helps you do that. And of course, be that person. Don't be false. Remember what I said, be truthful and be honest. If you don't feel like you can be that person, don't apply for this job. Be that person that can add value to the company, can be part of a team, and can help that company grow. You're asking the question, but you're kind of still selling yourself in a way. You're still telling them, here are my values. Here's why I'm the best candidate. Pick me. Okay? If you guys are getting value out of this information in this stream, please like the stream, and of course share it if you can on your social media. And let's build a better industry, an aviation industry. Let's build a better industry than what we found, because what we found is kind of needs work. So let's be the work. Let's work hard and let's make it better than we found it. Okay, that's what we're doing here. All right, next question. You were going to ask the panel. Let's see. Okay. I misspelled something. I'm fixing it because we're professional here. All right. What are the most important things you'd like to see accomplished within the first 30, 60, and 90 days on the job? Hold the phone. I did this on purpose. On the job, it's just a job. You're asking about this job? No. Let's get rid of on the job. Say in this role. It's a role. It's a team effort. It's not a job. Yes, it's a job. It's not a job. It's a lifestyle. I am going to make this company better. I am going to be a member of this company. I am going to provide a role in this company. Again, you're selling your qualities. They'll answer it however they answer it. Oh, well, you need to be safe and you need to have a good head on your shoulders and you need to eat your broccoli, right? Whatever. They'll answer it however they answer it. And of course, take those notes, write them down, get yourself a little notepad, and have it with you. Because, hey, when you go, you might get 2 interviews in one day with a different company. If that's the case, then take your notes with you. Ask new questions to the second one. Anyways, so that's a question you're going to want to ask. All right. Oh, I got some good questions here. I've got about 3 or 4 more questions that you want to be asking your panel. Remember, they're not just interviewing you. You are interviewing them. Okay. Oh, I didn't mean to put that comment up, but it's one of my favorites. If that was you, awesome. Okay. What is your favorite part about working here? This person isn't working there. Okay. Okay, that's okay. All right. I was gonna say reword that. These questions I'm going to show you kind of things to reword to make it sound better. Working there, like I said, go back to it. Is it just a job? Well, sure. But the important part of this question is being part of this team. And honestly, you'll get some pretty good answers. Like I had an interview recently and the guy was like, my favorite part about being at this company is being with my people. That's a great answer. You'll get some great answers. And then that tells you, hey, this company's got some good team oriented culture that I can be part of and I can help grow. Okay. Real quick, just a random thought. Going back to my first impression. This is not exactly how I would go to a pilot interview. This is something that I was mentioned later. Okay. Right now, just for your guys' own information, I've got the beard, right? I'm growing my hair out a little bit. It's just fun for me. I'm not in a position where I'm going to be applying to a airline job. I don't want to be an airline pilot. And it's just a personal thing. I've been in cargo. I've been in other areas, but for me, and I'll get into this. If you guys follow the Career Pilot Academy that I'm doing right now, I will talk about this in detail. My personality is not quite aligned with being an airline pilot. Okay, but there's nothing wrong with that. All right, so anyways, I've got a beard. I wouldn't have a beard if I was applying to a position where facial hair is, they need no facial hair. The reason why they don't have facial hair is because there's requirements with supplemental oxygen. When you're above certain altitudes, 12,000 feet, whatever it is, you have to be able to have supplemental oxygen. And there's a seal, and facial hair breaks that seal. It's an old regulation. The new systems have pressure. I won't get into all that nonsense, but a lot of people ask me, well, why do you have a beard? How can you apply? I'm not applying to airline pilot jobs right now. Personally, I'm on a different journey. I'm helping pilots with building their careers, and I'm flying is like independent, self-motivated kind of stuff. I won't get into all that right now, but if I were to apply to an airline pilot job right now, beard, probably shave it, cut the hair, make another good impression. So I just wanted to tell you guys that if you were curious. All right, let me get back to the other stuff. So they're going to answer this question, whatever is your favorite part, they're going to answer however. Important part is that you're telling them you want to be part of the team. All right, next question. You are going to be asking the panel. You are interviewing them. It's not just a one-sided interview. What are the current goals that your company is focused on, and how does the team work together to achieve these goals? Goal-oriented, company focus, teamwork, achieving goals. Remember, this company is thinking a different way than you are. They are thinking, how can we make our profit margins? How can we deliver customer service? How can we make this company grow? They are looking for people who will contribute to that role. If you tell them in this question that you want to know what those things are ahead of time, that will tell them that you are interested in the same things that they are, and you have the same mindset that they have in regards to growing the company, profiting, and making money, because that's why they're doing it. So be part of that. Be part of a team and be goal-oriented, be a problem solver, and be proactive. All right. Next question. You're going to ask them. Take a screenshot of these if you need to. Okay. Yeah, my next question is will I get promoted? Don't ask that question. That is not the question you should be asking. Instead, so I've got the X's. Ask this question instead. What are the opportunities for advancement in your company, and do you promote within? Much better question. It's the same thing, but saying, will I get promoted? They don't want to. Are you there? Are you here for yourself? Is that why you're here? Are you here because all you want is money and you want to be the top pilot, and be in the next, movie? Like, is that why you're here? No, you're not there for that. You're there to make a good impression. You're there to add to the company. I'm a broken record here, but I got to get this, in front of you because it's that important. You need to know how these companies think. If you know how they think, then you can have an advantage. Promoting within, it's just basically asking for some information, but what are the opportunities for advancement? What is that saying to them? This guy wants to be part of this company. He wants to grow in this company. He wants a more role with bigger responsibility. He's just not, and this is a big problem right now in aviation. He's not just going to come in, get his hours, and dip out, because that's what a lot of pilots are doing. Whatever, no judgment. That's what's happening. They want to see that you care about advancing, that you care about being there for the long run, okay? Ask that question and you will say so much more than just those 12 words or whatever. Okay. Last question you're going to ask them is this. you're going to ask them very important question. Let me back up. You're not probably going to have the time to ask all these questions. You might have the time to ask 3 or 4, maybe 3, because they've got to get to more interviews, right? They're a business. They got to operate on a day-to-day basis. They can't spend 3 hours like we are in this live stream talking about this stuff. They've got to keep moving. So you might only ask 3 or 4 of these questions. Pick the ones that work best for you. This one, though, I always ask, is there anything about my background and my experience that I can explain in more detail in regards to filling this role? We are filling a role. We're not just taking a job. We are satisfying a problem. The problem is we need a pilot. We need a pilot to fly this airplane so we can make money. Who's going to be the problem solver? You are. So ask them this question, and they might look at your resume and say, yeah, honestly, I had a question about in 2015, you said that you did this, and I was just wondering, do you have any more experience? Whatever. They're going to ask, more details. Give them the opportunity. Invite them to do that. Okay, that's what this question is all about. All right. Real quick, 2 hours into the stream. Thank you guys for still being here. You're the best. I appreciate having you here very much. Okay. Real quick. If you guys want to, if you see on the bottom here, patrons and members, if you want to support this channel, you don't have to, you absolutely don't have to, but I just want to tell you how you can if you want to. All right. If you go back to the website, commercialpic.com. All right. If you go to membership, okay, read this page, tells you a little bit about me, whatever. Members who provide, these, they join for membership. There's some perks that go with that. I'm not going to go into this. You guys can look at this. But if you do sign up as a member, you get more perks. You get merchandise too. Okay, I'll send you cool stuff. And then you also get the opportunity to see videos first before they come out, depending on the experience or depending on the level that you join. I'll let you read that on your own time. Go to commercialpic.com, go to membership. If you want to support this channel, if you want to be a member on Patreon or on YouTube, YouTube has a join function. You'll see it like, let me see. It says it right here. Hang on. Let me show you. I'm sure you guys can see it on screen. It is right there. Right down there. Okay. It says join. Basically that you join as a membership. Click on it, read about it, whatever. If you guys want to be a supporter of the channel so that I can continue to give this content out to the public, I would appreciate you very, very much. You don't have to though. Okay. This material is going to be free for you guys. All right. Almost done. Now let's talk about ending this interview. Okay. It's really coming to a close with the interview, and you should be asking questions like the following. Okay. Also, keep in mind, this is not probably going to be the only interview. This is either a phone call or a Zoom call, and there could be 2, maybe 3 interviews. That I've had that before. I've had 3 interviews before. Okay, it's crazy. I've made it all the way to the end of an interview process. It took a month, right? And I got a phone call. Hey, just want to let you know, we appreciate your interviews. We've selected another candidate. Oh, for a month I spent doing these interviews, and I got outbid. But whatever. I learned a lot from those interviews. Okay. So expect more interviews. And you might interview with the chief pilot. There's a pretty good chance you'll have to do, this is something I was going to mention earlier. It's a pretty good chance you're going to have to do a full IFR walkthrough, right? They're going to say, hey, we're flying out of this airport. Show us a or walk us through the approach plate of runway 33's IFR, or sorry, ILS. My mistake. ILS, runway 33. Tell us. You'll have an approach plate. You'll tell them how. Go back to your instrument training. Make sure you're sharp on your instrument training. Very, very important. They are going to ask you interview questions. Don't go unprepared. Don't think that they won't. Interview questions are a guarantee. And walking through an approach plate is a guarantee. You're going to get asked that, and it's usually the chief pilot who asks you those questions. Just be ready. Just study and get your IFR stuff in order. Make sure also that you are current. Make sure that you got your first class medical. Make sure you're ready to take this job. Don't walk in there without having an IPC, instrument proficiency check, done and ready to go. Make sure you're current. Make sure you're good to go. And not just current, but be proficient, right? Know how to do a holding pattern. Know your holding pattern entries. Know the difference between a teardrop and a parallel. Know stuff like that. Know when to hold. Know when to fold. No, I'm just kidding. Know when to walk away. You get the idea. Okay. So what's going to happen is you can ask them, what can I expect next? And if I'm considered, tell them I would be a great fit for this role because, and tell them why. Because confidence will make another impression. Okay. It's okay to ask what's next. They might say, well, if you're considered, we will send you an email, or we'll give you a phone call, and we'll let you know whether or not they accept you for the position, or you move to the next round of interviews, whatever it is. Hopefully, and this is your chance to really find out, hopefully they give you the opportunity to know they did not consider you for the role. Most companies will do that. It's a good thing. Okay. You want to know that information. So there's that. This is your chance to find that out. And then, of course, if considered, not if hired, not when I get this job, if considered. Your language here is really important. I'd be a great fit for this role, blah, blah, blah. Okay, make that impression. Then, again, thank them for their time. They took time out of their day, their money-making day, to help grow their business, and tell them how much you appreciate that they considered you. Give them that appreciation. Okay. All right. Then interview's over, right? You're done. You're sweating, right? You walk out into the lobby and you're like, gosh, it's over. Now what, right? It's not over. You have some things you can do. You can, hear me, pilots. You can make another impression after you walk out of this building. How? How can you make another impression? If you know the answer, throw it in the comments before I put it on screen. How can you make another impression after you physically exit the building? Anybody know? Give you a second. While I put it in here, I would love to see some answers here. All right. Coming at you quick. First of all, take a breath. The interview's done. Why do I keep showing that comment? This one. There we go. All right. Interview is done, and it is over. Take a breath. You did it. You can go decompress. It's a good word, decompress, right? But you're not done. You're going to make another first impression. Here's what you're going to do. You got it. Luke got it. All right, I'm throwing it on screen. Good job, Luke. Very good. You got it, man. Write a follow-up email. Boom. Luke got it. Okay. We're going to talk about this because it's very, very, very important. Okay. And talking about clarification. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, so here's what's the time frame. Okay, time frame is important. You remember this. You're fresh in their mind, right? They have a stack of resumes. They have a bunch, and it's like, okay, who the heck are we gonna hire now? We had 10 good people. Who are we going to hire? They're going to hire the guy that they remember. All right. And of course, not 100%, like they're going to remember everybody, but you made the best. So I always say, make the best first impression within 24 hours. That's the thing. Why? Because, memory, time goes by. They finish all their interviews. They go to their email. They're closing up shop for the day. And they have an email sitting in their inbox from one person. You. One person. Send a thank you email. 24 hours later. It says, hang on a second. There it is. Send them a proper thank you letter, email within 24 hours. Something to the effect of, Mr. Jones and hiring team, very great to meet you today. Thank you again for your time. I really appreciate the opportunity to interview with your company. It was great to meet you. Of course, keep it short. Keep it as long as it possible, but as short as it needs to be, right? Don't write them a novel. Short, sweet, make that impression. Okay, this is what it's going to say. If considered for this position, I think I would, remember you said this in the interview, right? I said I would be a good consideration for this position because A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? Clarify, Luke said it there. Clarification's a good thing, okay? Make sure that if there was something you didn't understand, there's a good time now. Something I like to do, if you have anything that you do, like as a volunteer thing, now would probably be a good time to mention, hey, by the way, I like to contribute to the local airport where I can't remember the name of the program, where they take kids and they fly for discovery flights. If you know the name of that program, put it in the chat because I can't remember. But mention that, right? Make another impression. And at the end of the day, they will look through all the resumes and man, they're going to remember you. They are going to remember you. You are going to get into, almost guaranteed, if you do everything that I've talked about in this live stream, you're almost guaranteed to get a second interview. Maybe you don't get the job, but you're almost guaranteed to get a second interview because they want to know more. Man, you made an impression. I want to know more about this guy. This guy's going to be our captain. I want to know who this dude is. And then, just start over, get going again and go through and learn more about the position and all that stuff. Okay. Now, what happens if you don't hear anything? Like if they say, oh, you'll hear from us within a week. Young Eagles. Yes. Thank you, Luke. Young Eagles. Got it. Man, you're awesome. Okay. Follow up. You didn't get a follow-up email. Right? Maybe you sent the email. Maybe you haven't heard anything. This has happened to me a lot. Companies, sometimes they just don't have time to tell you, sorry, we didn't consider you. It happens, okay? It's not the end of the world. So what do? Well, you have the opportunity to follow up with the panel to interview you, and you're going to do it within 1 week. Don't let a week go by before you ask about this position. And just say something like, keep it short, real short, okay? Just say something to the effect of, hey, I really appreciated having the interview. I was just wondering if you have any more information about this role, if it's been filled. If not, I would still like to be considered for this position. Something simple. You're just basically putting it on the radar again. It's that whole concept of out of sight, out of mind, right? If you're out of sight and out of mind, they might not remember you. But if they like, if they have it to where they've got a ton of interviews and tons of resumes, you sent a follow-up email, and then you also sent a thank you. That might be what gets you, oh yeah, that's right. We forgot about this guy. Okay, let's get him another interview. It's just another tool in your tool bag to get that. Okay, now, final item. I hope you guys have gotten lots out of this. This is the final thing we're going to talk about. Final part of the interview process. Then I'm going to talk about one more thing, and then it's giveaway time. Okay. Here is the last thing I want you to remember. Practice more interviews. I talked about this earlier. This is a muscle. You need to build it, get it strong. Practice interviews. I might get to a point here where I can actually have you guys on stream and we can actually practice interviews and I can ask you questions. What do you think about that? Would you guys like that? Would you guys like to have a session where I ask you difficult questions and see how you answer so you can practice? Because there's no risk here. It's all reward. It's all reward. And you can practice for your interviews. If you guys want to see that in the future, let me know. Build that muscle. Master your craft. Oh man, master your craft. Be the best pilot that you can be. Be a great interviewer and practice these things. And then when you're done, you will find that when you go back into the next interview, it's easier. Like you built a confidence that you didn't know you had. And then you can reflect on old interviews and you can really make a difference and you can get better at this. Okay. All right. So build that muscle and master your craft. That's what I say. All right. One more thing we're going to talk about, and then we're going to do the giveaway. So here's what I would like to mention. You guys may have seen this on social media. There's two things, if you're interested, you can do, which will, again, help out our channel, help out Commercial Pilot in Command, but also add value and benefit you. Okay. First thing, audible.com. What I want to say here is that you can download audiobooks for free. I love listening to audiobooks. Man, I love listening to audiobooks. And you can get the FAA books, like the PHAC, the Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge. You can get that in audio form. It'll put you to sleep, but you can get it for free. And how you're going to do it is you're going to, below this video, okay? Let me share the screen here so you can see it. This is going to look a little weird for a second, but I want to show you how you can do this. It's super easy, okay? And you can get, I'm not kidding, free books, free. Will not cost you $1. I promise you. Will not cost you $1. You can get free audiobooks, FAA books, all that good stuff. Okay. Here's how you do it. Do a share screen. Like I said, it's going to look weird for a second. Okay. Under this window, right? Click on these three little dots. Maybe not. Oh. Probably doesn't work on mine. Okay. Oh, sorry. Right here. My mistake. More. See where it says more? That's where you click. Okay. All right. What you're going to do is you're going to go down here. I have all this stuff here for you guys. Resources. Free pilot career book. Boom. Commercial PIC merchandise. Boom. Download free aviation audiobooks right here. When you click on this, you're going to open up a window. You sign up for a free 30-day trial. In that 30 days, they're going to give you credits and you can download books if you've ever done audiobooks. Download those books for free. I'm not kidding. It's free. Just make sure you remember that you're on a 30-day trial. So within 30 days, then they will charge a subscription. Doesn't matter. If you want to cancel anytime, you absolutely can. So why am I talking about this? Not only are you going to get audiobooks, Audible cuts me a little bit of cash to basically promote this. You sign up for a 30-day Audible trial, they give me a little bit of a commission. That's it. End of story. Okay? And go get some free books. Go get the PHAC. Go learn. The FAA has a book for CFIs. Go get it. Okay, second thing. If you guys want or need any accessories, please, I'm asking, use my links right here. If you need a new Bose headset, click on this link right here. If you need some GoPros or some fuel jars, some aviators, because you want to look cool, impress the ladies or the gentlemen, click on this link if you don't mind. It's a special link. It's an affiliate link. Basically means whenever you click on that link, you go onto Amazon. Amazon credits me for bringing you to Amazon, and they pay me a very small commission just to say, hey, thanks for bringing Pilot whoever to the site. And they bought some batteries, rechargeable batteries for their headset. Here you go. Thanks. That's it. Really simple. It's called Associates Program. I'm part of Amazon Associates Program. They hook me up when you guys use those links. Here's a little thing too. If you click on one of those links and then you go buy a bunch of other stuff, like, I don't know, a washing machine, and you buy a bunch of dishes, and you buy, a brand new cover for your airplane or whatever, right? Amazon sees that I brought you to Amazon. They also give me a little bit of credit for that too. So it helps support the channel. The money comes out of the company's pocket. It doesn't come out of your pocket. The money is paid to what I'm doing as a way to support this channel without pilots paying for it. I'm giving this information to you guys, pilots, and this is a way that you can support without having to spend a dang penny. So anyways, done talk about that. All right. Thank you guys. If you use those links, if you support the channel, thank you so much. You're the best. I love you guys. Okay, let's get into the giveaway. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. Okay, finally doing it. It's been a long afternoon. You guys are here. We're going to give you the Learn to Fly course by Sporties. Sporties, thank you very much for sending this to me to give away to the community. And I really hope somebody gets this and does something, well, do whatever you want with it, but it is going to be yours. So if you have basically went and took a nap and came back for this time, man, you came back at the right time, because you're going to get this opportunity to do the giveaway. Okay. All right. Here is what we're going to do. I'm going to make it a little bit of a competition. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you the opportunity to win this and actually win it, okay? Not just be the first guy. So here's what you're going to do if you haven't been following already. Go to sporties.com/setup2. Have an account. If you don't have an account, this isn't going to work, okay? You're going to enter in this code. And the first person to get this code entered in is going to win it, okay? And I have not activated this code. In fact, it's still sealed, right? Haven't even opened it, okay? I mean, I guess I opened it to look at the code, but I did not activate it, all right? Now it's open, okay? Here's how it is going to work. I'm going to give you the chance to guess the last two digits. Guess the last two digits. And then I'm going to reveal the code. That way somebody gets it. I don't want a bunch of people to guess and nobody gets it. Somebody's going to get this, okay? But I'm going to give you, let's do a little competition, all right? There are two final digits. Somebody might have already figured this out. If you did, nice work. Final two digits. 784C-866A-17 blank blank. There's only two digits. Here's a hint. The last two digits, the first one is a letter and the second one is a number. All right? All lowercase. First is a letter, second is a number. Okay? I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes here. If you claim it, if you get it, throw up horrible way. Right? Put up a comment that you got it, right? If nobody gets it, I'm just gonna reveal it to you and somebody will win this thing. All right. Hope you guys are excited about this giveaway. And I hope that you have gotten the account and you can do the Sporties. Go in there, go try and grab it. It's up for grabs. Sporties giveaway for the aviation course is up for grabs at sportiespilottraining.com. Go get that code. All right. While you guys are doing that, I am going to change up the music here. Give you guys an opportunity to get the code, to get the Sporties giveaway. And if you win it, if you got it, say it, show off. Say it in chat. While you guys are doing that, if you're still on the stream, just want to say you guys have this stream forever. this is going to be, I'm going to wait a little bit before I make it live, make it public, but it will be available for you to watch it, because I want you to go back and I want you to watch it in sections and absorb it slowly, break it down, get all the material and practice. Okay. So you'll have the opportunity to do that, and you'll have the opportunity to go back and watch it. Do me a favor, just like it, share it, and leave a comment, because that, like I said earlier, that tells YouTube, hey, this is an important video. People like it. Let's promote it more. That's how the YouTube algorithm works. And we will get more pilots to get better at interviewing, and our industry will grow. When I think of something, I look at it as a trajectory. My goal is to make aviation better than I found it, and to make some dang good pilots. Right? This is my way of doing it. So even if it's as small as leaving a comment and it gets the YouTube video moving, and more people see it and watch it, then that's good. Our industry grows. Okay. Not sure if anybody has got the code yet, but the full code is about to hit the stream. You're going to be like, oh, wow. Okay. All right. Are you ready for the last 2 digits? If you haven't guessed it already, last 2 digits of the Sporty's giveaway code. Hey, maybe nobody's actually went for it because they don't need it. That's okay too. Somebody will get this thing. Doesn't matter to me who gets it. Hopefully they get to use it. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Last 2 digits coming up on stream. Boom. 17A0. Oh, really? Literally the first letter and the first number. I could have done that. I hope that's what you guessed, because it's easy. You know, it's like A0. Really? Anyways, here it is. Here is the Sporty's pilot setup, activation. And looks like we have ourselves a winner. Mehdi, I apologize if I say your name wrong. Please forgive me. I believe it's Mehdi or Mehdi, however you say it. Man, congratulations. You have won the Sporty's Pilot Shop Learn to Fly course, sponsored by Sporty's. They sent me this, and I hope it either changes somebody you know who needs this information. You can share this information. You know, if you have a friend or a sister or somebody who wants to learn to fly, they can jump on the computer with you and they can learn as well. So, Mehdi, congratulations for getting this. You are awesome for being here through the whole thing, as well as Luke, as well as the other people who are here. You guys have been awesome. And before you go, I don't want to send you off just yet. I just want to say to you, thank you very, very, very much for being here. Please watch the Career Pilot Academy. I'm going to be giving you how to write a cover letter, how to write your resume. Here's the one that I'm really excited about: how to know you're the right fit for the job, because you understand your own personality and you understand how to apply for specific jobs, and you know what jobs you should be going after. I'm going to talk about your personality and what roles you're going to fit in as a pilot way before you get there. Okay. And so I'm trying to set you guys up for success. If you are, let's say you're about to graduate, hopefully all this information you could take into the commercial pilot world. They kick you out of the nest when you get your commercial pilot's license. You're on your own, bro. Have fun. Not here. Not a commercial pilot in command. You get kicked out of the nest. You're here. You're going to learn how to be a commercial pilot. You're going to learn how to build a resume. You're going to learn how to be a marketable pilot. That's the key. You're marketable. All right. You're going to be, and if you're watching these videos and somebody else isn't, you're getting inside information, man. You're getting decades of experience into days of watching. Okay, Mehdi, of course, absolutely. I'm going to put your comment on screen here because I think that's awesome. I'm glad it's going to help you with your aviation journey. My pleasure. My goal is to do more giveaways in the future. we'll see how that goes. I'm working on some stuff, and if I can do more giveaways, then that would be absolutely awesome, because I want to advance your careers. I want pilots to be the best, right? Doctors are the best, and medics are the best, and lawyers are the best. No, pilots are the best. Okay, you have a level of education that should be respected. You should be respected in our world because you're a pilot. You're not just some Joe Schmo. Doctors are respected, and same with pilots. Okay, my voice is saying no more, as you guys can hear, but I don't care, because I have absolutely enjoyed my time with you. Thank you so much for being here. When you get the chance to watch it again, please do, and take your time with it. Enjoy it, okay? But first of all, and last of all, always remember to fly that airplane to the finish every single time. Thank you, guys. I will see you later. Have a great night.